We will call the meeting to order. Roll call: Chisman.
Present.
McSparen. Benge.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
VanDorin.
Present.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as so submitted. Second.
Motion by Chisman, seconded by Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And I would also take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Benge,
I'll second it. No matter.
second by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay. The mayor's report. First, I would like to inform everyone that on June 1st, the sewer payment of $31,368.09 was made. This was this administration's #1 priority, and I'm proud to say we accomplished the goal of making this payment. There was a time in the not so distant past where we were very concerned with not having the money to make this payment. Still aren't where we need to be financially, but we're headed in the right direction. With summer here, kids are out of school, and we would like to ask everyone to please keep an eye on the little ones in town. We've had flowers in the park trampled a couple different times, and it appears to be very little footprints in the there by the water fountain. Any vandalism or destruction of property will be taken very seriously. The sheriff will be notified. So please, if you can help us, keep an eye on your kids, and any other kids you see, might keep an eye on them and make sure that nothing's getting tore up. We've had some complaints coming into the city, so be on the lookout for, there's a possibility we will be sending out notices for nuisance abatement. Sent a few letters out already, and whether it be junk vehicles, tall grass, or weeds, or tires, we are attempting to everybody take a little pride and clean the city up. Any and all help will be greatly appreciated. With this, I want to remind the community of the citywide cleanup days on June 15th and 16th. Along with cleanup day, at our last meeting, there was a question about appliance pickup at your home. We contacted Waste Management. We've yet to hear back, but they were confident that we could work something out, that you'd buy a tag at City Hall, tag your appliance, and they would come along and pick them up. So it'd be a fee, of course, of some sort. We just have to pick a day. We'll get the kinks worked out, and we'll get something scheduled. So I think that'd be a really good deal for everybody. Help kind of get rid of some of the clutter. Early in May, the Shriners held a bike ride through Wapello County, and it's been held the last, I can't remember how many years they said, but they passed through town. We turned the water on in the park. They had electricity. They used the shelter. The Shriners donated some money to the city, sent us a nice thank you card, thanking us for helping them out. We look forward to continuing to help them out in the future. So I would also like to thank the garden club for the aforementioned flowers they planted in the park, and guys always do a great job of taking care of that stuff and planting flowers and doing just a really good job of maintaining stuff up there. Memorial Day, the cemetery looked great. It was flagged. I think Alan Gray flagged it, and it really did look great. It's greatly appreciated for him taking the time to go down and do that. The city also finalized the agreement on the lagoon grade stabilization project, where they did the road going down to the lagoons. We will receive a final payment of $2,000 for the completion of that project. So that'll be another $2,000 coming into the city that way. The 4th of July is coming up. We do not have an ordinance on the book as far as time for fireworks or anything like that. I know at Tumwa and Fairfield, we're in the paper that they've passed ordinances limiting what time you can let off fireworks. So we're just asking that you please be respectful of your neighbors. We do not have an ordinance in place, but we ask to show respect to the townspeople while you're celebrating Independence Day and everything. So that's all I got. So we will move on to communication from the public. Do we have anybody?
Is that me?
I think, are you speaking on behalf of the Garden Club? We got you on here in just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so, okay, yep.
What about the dumpsters? What's going to be allowed?
It says on the signs, I know, what do we have? We have,
No hazardous materials, tires or appliances, anything I'm gonna add to that, Jerry?
no hazardous materials, no tires, and no appliances.
Okay.
So, anything else, just fair game.
And the dumpsters will be here by Thursday night, so you'll have Friday and Saturday. And if some people have relatives coming in that can help, some elderly people, bring some stuff down Sunday on Father's Day or something, that'll be fine. The dumpsters will be picked up on Monday morning. So they'll be here a full 3 days.
We had discussed curbside pickup in the past, but I think that we're not necessarily going to have the manpower or the vehicles possibly to pick all that up. If you do, I mean, I'll be around all day Friday and most of the day Saturday. So if you know somebody that's got stuff that they want to haul, I guess we're not advertising a curbside pickup or anything, but if you know somebody, we could get a hold of me and we'll do the best we can to get stuff taken down there for them.
We actually may be cleaning up some of the old houses that people moved out of that
Or sitting
crap, and so if anybody sees us around town or something, just holler. We'll have a trailer or two, and there should be somebody down pretty much all the time in school to help.
Thank you.
But yeah, if you know anybody, I mean, we just don't have the manpower to go out into everybody's house, but if you know anybody that needs help with anything, just get a hold of any one of us. If you need to call Line and just leave her a note during the day or something, that would work too, so.
Anytime between now and Friday, just call up, let her know that you might have something, and we'll do the best we can to get down there and help you out.
And that goes for anybody, just pass the word that, we talked about putting that in the newspaper, but I think we have a little bit of problem with people bringing stuff from out of town, and we've always had a little bit of problem with that at night, and when people bring stuff in, so we kind of want to keep it, pretty much everybody can clean out the basement or whatever they need to do, stuff off the porch.
Garage.
But no, and then your bigger appliances, we talk about that, we'll still try to do that at a later time, or do this like they're talking about, where we can tag them and they'll pick them up, so.
Yeah.
But we'll still try to do that at a later time to help some people with that stuff.
Any more communication, public? We will move on. Old business. We talked about last month. Councilman McSparen handed in his resignation. We didn't approve it last month, but we can approve it now. You guys have a letter in your packet there. So I guess I will take a motion to accept the resignation of Brian McSparen.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion by Smith,
I'll second that.
second by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we will move on to resolution 18.6.11.1. We'll be appointing a new council member. So I guess I need a
Resolution.
resolution yet. Be it resolved by the City Council of Blakesburg, Iowa, whereas the Blakesburg City Council approved the appointment of Asa Cope to fill the vacancy on the City Council. So I need someone to make
A motion?
motion
I'll
to,
make a motion on resolution 18.6.11.1, appoint new council member.
I'll second it.
motion by Smith, seconded by Chisman. And roll call. Chisman.
Aye.
Benge. Smith.
Aye.
VanDorin.
Aye.
Okay. Asa, if you'd like to come on up, our clerk will swear you in. And we'll get you started right here tonight.
Raise your right hand. I, Asa Cope,
I, Asa Cope,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability,
and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of the office of a City Council member
discharge all duties of the office of the City Council member
of Blakesburg and Wapello County, Iowa,
of Blakesburg and in Wapello County, Iowa,
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Thank you. One thing that I think we were talking about something at the last meeting and then we got sidetracked to come back to it. Because we're putting our local option sales tax on the ballot in November, the changing of the usage of that, the ACES seat is till November, and then there will be an election for anybody, just a general election to run for that seat. So hopefully he likes it and run again. Hang on to you, it'd be good. Appreciate you doing this, and it's great. I hope you enjoy it because it's a lot of fun. Can be a lot of fun. All right, moving on. Cold patch for the streets. Last Thursday? Yep. Okay, Thursday. We contacted Norris Asphalt about cold patch. It's where we got it last year. It was donated last year. We got the rates for that. And they said that we just need to call them when we're ready to start. And also that day, we're gonna call to Lathrop Family Farms, see about using the, thank you, skid loader. He said he would do whatever he could do to help us. He's gonna work it out with his insurance, and as soon as he gave us kind of a time frame of when we could have it, we were gonna call and get the cold patch in and start working on filling some potholes. We've discussed that a couple times already, and so I think was this on here to approve the purchase of?
I think we were going to just do an approval of a certain amount.
Okay. Which, okay, the amount we kind of discussed, we were talking about $1,500.
Just for starters, and then we'll do more later as well.
So I guess that's what we're kind of looking for is a motion on a limit on how much we could spend. Ina says $1,500, so I guess what I'm looking for is a motion that we could spend up to $1,500 on cold patch.
I'll make the motion to spend up to $1,500 on cold patch.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we'll look to get started on that hopefully late June, early July. So, they said that Norris,
How many tons is it?
it was 100,
150.
150 a ton.
Yeah, that's awful
roughly.
close.
Yep.
Try to do it with volunteers, is that kind of what?
That's the plan right now. Yep.
Are you gonna run the city tractor hauling and the skid loader, or are you gonna do just?
Probably the tractor and the skid loader both, but skid loader, maybe just kind of get it put in there and leveled out, you know, packed in, we'll have a packer there too.
Actually, the best way to do it and most economical is for people to shovel it in out of a bucket, and you don't waste as much.
Yeah.
We had that problem last year, well intended, but we got quite a bit of material wasted.
Yeah.
You get like 2 people shoveling, and it takes a little bit of time, but you can get it pretty close to level.
You can kind of climb 4x4s in your bucket, and then it kind of just like rock or whatever, go to the center and come out, you know.
It's pretty sticky stuff.
Yeah, you have to definitely help you shovel. But no, that, and we'll have to get an air compressor and load them out good, and that'll be. And we'll just see how far this first bunch goes. I think maybe one of the main streets is that street headed straight down to the school, I guess.
Main Street,
Yeah.
Main Street or
High Street.
High Street?
High Street.
High Street,
Yeah.
yeah, High Streets.
A lot of people use that road. But we'll sure see what we can get done, and we'll see, basically, we're just gonna see how our money is then,
And when we get the parade route next month, the carnival committee, Tracy talked to me, want to make sure we get all those filled in for the parade too. And the parade route. She said it's basically going to be the same as last year, so just want to go over and make sure all the ones that we filled in last year filled in. I don't need a kid rolling an ankle or something marching in the parade. Or,
yeah. And I seen they put some rock in down by the ball diamond. We'll probably want to blow that out of there and do those ones just back of the dugout there. They're pretty
There's some
big.
really big ones in there, down there, yeah.
So you might be looking at a bigger load than this first time to do the parade route.
Yeah, the second run might be a little more, but
Depending how much you get filled the first time here
Yeah.
on the parade route.
yeah.
No, that's when, if we do it kind of with volunteers, and then we can build our money up for next year, maybe do, you know, try to get it where we can seal coat a little bit as it should have been. It's normal, so, yeah, this will be off to a start. It's just been a slow year, kind of short funded this year yet.
Working on it. Yep. All right, so we got kind of plan in place now going forward for patching the streets. Electrical work.
That was out at the lagoon. For the work that Bob had mentioned before, to have that fixed.
Yeah, I don't know if Beatty sent a bill in for that at the lagoon yet.
He has not for that first part that we had.
We had the flow meter at the lagoon, what we're just we're talking about here. Flow meter at the lagoon, whether it was bad battery cables, which I think is what we kind of ended up figuring out. It was it was the corroded battery. It wasn't working properly. Brought in Beatty Electric, and they had it up and running, and then it was dying again.
Basically, had to get it calibrated and stuff.
Had to recalibrate it, and what was the name of that company? Not Beatty, but Jetco from Altoona that works with the flow meters. Came down last Thursday. They were here last Thursday, and got it recalibrated, cleaned off the corroded battery, rewound the paper. Joe was on vacation. Joe Crookham, who handles our maintenance down there, he came in and calibrated it, got it up and running, cleaned off the battery. We weren't having any issues, haven't had any issues since then. So I don't think we have any more electrical work.
Maybe wasn't there still a little bit to do?
Was somebody talking about the bandstand the other
The
day?
bandstand too, but I was thinking there was still something at the lagoon too, besides the flow meter. We would check on.
The electrical work on the bandstand was for the ICAP, correct?
Right.
So we need to look into having somebody come in and take care of the electricity in the bandstand up here. That was part of the ICAP when they were here. And then when they did all the work at the ball diamond, I think the only thing left on that was the bandstand. So have any recommendations? Do we need to, I mean, is that getting hold of Beatty? Is there Beatty?
They probably come through here going other places, so.
I think they'll treat us really good on that. I mean,
Maybe catch them when they're
he volunteers a lot of stuff for town marine. I think they're about as reasonable as we can find, and he kind of come up and reserve for us on that one.
So do we need a motion then to approve Lady Electric to do the work, or was it just kind of a discussion?
A motion to approve.
Okay. I need a motion to approve Lady Electric.
I'll make a motion to approve Lady Electric
Contact
to
Jim.
bring our bandstand up to
Yeah.
specifications.
I'll second.
Seconded by Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Well, we have Resolution 18.6.11.2, real estate transfer. So this is the city of Blakesburg transferring the real estate to Bob Chisman for his sealed bid, the house at 310 and 312 Hickory. So I would need a motion here to pass resolution 18.6.11.2.
Make a motion to pass resolution 18.6.11.2, real estate transfer. Second.
Motion by Benge, seconded by Smith. Roll call. Chisman.
Abstain.
Abstain. Benge.
Yes.
Okay. Smith.
Aye.
Okay. VanDorin.
Aye.
Coe.
Aye.
Alright. Got just a few little things I think we gotta sign tonight, and then Bob will be the proud owner of a nice little home down there. Okay, new business. We have Helen Hannon from the Garden Club. She'd like to speak.
Okay, the garden club would like to have permission or want to know if they can plant a red maple somewhere, preferably in the park, as a memorial to Mary McAnally. She was a longtime member of the garden club, maybe a charter member, I'm not sure.
See, absolutely no problem with that. I think that'd be great.
She's
Uh,
on the east side or the west side, or?
Your option.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it on the west side until we figure out what we're gonna do with those trees, when they're gonna have to fall.
That's what I was thinking, that it might, if you decide to take down some of those trees that are dead or dying, it might make a good replacement. And now it's not a really good.
We'll put them in the park, not on the city right away.
Okay, but we have permission to do it, and you're gonna pick the place, right?
That's what we're figuring out here, but I think that'd be, yeah. I'll-
Just don't wanna put them over on the west side until we figure out if we're gonna knock those trees down.
Yeah, that's not a good option.
Yeah,
Because they
so
will.
probably over on the east side, somewhere along the east side of the park would be a good spot.
She was my third grade teacher. I got no problem at all with it.
Yeah. All right,
We didn't have it, but
Well, it wouldn't be until fall anyway, because it's too hot and dry right now.
right, but we'll, nope, we'll get something, we'll get a spot. Sounds like a great idea. I need a motion to approve, the garden club's request to plant a tree in the park.
I'll make a motion, we approve that request.
Motion by Chisman,
I'll second.
seconded by Coe. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Helen, yeah, we'll be in touch and we'll figure out where we're gonna
Okay.
do that, but thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. We are ordinance 18.6.11.1, Title 3, Community Protection 3-1-7 and 3-1-8 fines. When we were looking through the ordinance book that was codified last year, and we were starting to try to abate nuisances and send letters out, we realized that in the new ordinance book, there were no listed fines anywhere. These were the fines that had been in previous ordinance books. We found one of the older ones. Everything's pretty well standard, I believe. I don't think anything's terribly out of whack from looking through all of them. I mean, it's, I guess fairly cut and dry. And it's just something that we need to have in effect, so that if we do have a nuisance that we want to try to do anything about, like we learned at the League of Cities meeting, the best way to go about it sometimes is to issue a fine and go forward from there. But with us not having any fines in the ordinance book, it made it impossible. So I guess what I'm looking for right now is a motion to approve. Yes, and when we make the motion, that needs to be included that we'll waive the second and third reading so we can get these in effect as soon as possible. And then that way we can, if something comes up, we do have some teeth as opposed to just make an idle.
Make a motion, we accept ordinances 18.6.11.1, Title 3, Community Protection 3-1.7 and 3-1.8 fines, and waive second and third reading.
Motion by Benge,
Second.
second by Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, that's a roll call. Thank you. Chisman,
Aye.
Benge,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
VanDorin.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
sorry guys, I'm my A game tonight. Okay, ordinance 18.6.11.2, Title 6, Chapter 1, Mobile Home Regulation, Recreational Vehicles. This is one we've had some issues with people living in campers in town. Number one, they're not up to minimum code, I don't believe. But they've kind of turned in from a part-time deal into a full-time residence, and we have nothing in the books right now currently that prohibits this, which is what this ordinance is. It does read, we do have a length of stay added to this, and we've firmly defined definitions of mobile home, recreational vehicle, and mobile home park. The length of stay, no recreational vehicle shall be used as a permanent place of dwelling or for indefinite periods of time. Continuous occupancy exceeding beyond 30 days in any 12-month period shall be presumed to be a permanent occupancy. And then the second part of that, any action toward removal of wheels of a recreational vehicle except for temporary purposes of repair or to temporarily attach recreational vehicle to the grounds for stabilizing purposes is hereby prohibited. So everything else, I mean, it's just pretty cut and dry standard. This was drawn up by our city attorney. She used, I think, the same ordinance that Bloomfield has, and they operate under the same, they have this in effect. So I recommend that we approve this. Again, when we make a motion, I request that we go ahead and waive the second and third reading. So I guess I entertain a motion to enact ordinance 18.6.11.2.
Now, our options on that was basically other towns have no mobile homes, period, out of a mobile home park, but we're allowing people to, if they have relatives visiting or something.
Yeah, that's why we left that kind of open for the 30 days. If the relatives visiting and wants to bring a camper in and stay for a little while. If you have a remodel in your house and you can't, I mean, you're tearing something up and you have access and want to stay in a camper for, but yeah, anything beyond 30 days is, yeah, going to be considered a permanent dwelling, and that's an unknown.
I'll make a motion that we approve that ordinance 18.6.11.2 titled 3, Chapter 1 mobile home regulation. And the second and third reading be waived.
Motion by VanDorin,
Second.
seconded by Smith. Roll call, Chisman,
Aye.
Benge,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
VanDorin,
Aye.
Cope.
Aye.
Okay. For utilities and mowing expenses and different things. And this is, certifies us that we can assess a lien on his taxes, correct? Their
Not
taxes.
just on his, there's others too.
Okay, this would be for,
That's the basis for it.
okay, for anybody. So anybody that that's,
So from this day forward, we'll have the authority to do that, right?
Unless someone changes it.
okay. All right, so I will take a motion to pass resolution 18.6.11.3 to certification to taxes on delinquent utility bills.
I'll make that motion on resolution 18.6.11.3, certification of taxes on delinquent utility bills.
I'll second.
Motion by Smith, seconded by Benge. Roll call, Chisman.
Aye.
Benge.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
VanDorin.
Aye.
Cope.
Aye.
Okay. I guess I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit because that's what, resolution 18.6.11.4 is certification of taxes for mowing and cleaning bills. Again, I know in Atumwa, for instance, somebody doesn't mow, when we go in and mow, then they charge them for gas, labor, what have you. So I guess this is just a kind of a continuation of the one before. So I'm looking for a motion to pass resolution 18.6.11.4.
Is that gonna be a standard fee or as the cost? How we gonna-
On mowing right now, if my memory's right, the last one I looked at, that was, I think I even saw it in the city, it was $150. So,
And that must have been in another.
If it's bigger, it might be more.
well, if you put cleanup in there, I don't know. And if anybody thinks it's excessive, I guess we can.
I would say this, just leave it up to, every yard's gonna be different. Some of them may.
Just a straight fee of $150. I think I read it in some minutes, and it may even be, I'm trying to remember, I saw it last week somewhere.
That's kind of hard to do one way or the other and stay with it, whichever way we decide.
On the mowing, if, hopefully that isn't gonna happen, say we had to send somebody down, we have a dumpster of stuff that's gonna be taken out of the yard,
That's gonna be more.
that'll be added on.
Let's go 100, we're not a huge city, let's go $100 minimum, and then if.
I think that's
there's a
something
lot
we're
of
gonna have
stuff
to probably
grass,
pass next month on the fines.
Let's just kick it around and make a decision, do it next month.
And then just be able to.
I think there is another ordinance at hand for the mowing, but not for the cleanup, so. we
Oh,
can
there
do
is an
that
ordinance in the
next
book?
month. I think so.
Okay,
Because we've already got places he's been
right.
mowing and
I didn't think there is a fee set in the ordinance book for that already. And that's like Kevin, I'm sorry, I mistook what you were talking about, but yeah, I believe it's $150.
The mowing, not for-
That's just for the mowing, yeah, for cleaning anything. I think we had there is not, in that ordinance, it does not state any specific height, right?
it's not.
I know in the past, I believe you had obligated to mow once a month.
On the 15th or something.
By the 15th, yeah, 15th of the month. And that was in months April through September. Again, that was an old ordinance book, and that's something maybe we do need to look into. I do remember seeing the fine in the current ordinance book, or in here looking,
It goes 150 a month.
I believe so
For the
too,
mowing.
for the mowing. As far as cleanup, something we might have to add to that ordinance, probably at the next meeting as far as cleanup goes. But the fund for mowing is listed.
We'll just check that stuff then and make a motion on it next.
So do we want to table this part of it for now? The certification
I
of,
think we could do this hard because that's going to fall in another section.
okay. So we can go ahead and pass this and then we'll institute the,
Figure it out.
yeah. So, okay, I recommend we do pass resolution 18.6.11.4, certification to taxes on mowing and cleaning bills.
I'll make a motion, we pass resolution 18.6.11.4, certification to taxes on mowing and cleaning bills.
Do I have a second?
I'll give a second.
Second by Smith. Roll call, Chisman,
Aye.
Benge,
Aye.
Smith,
Aye.
VanDorin,
Aye.
Coe.
Aye.
Okay, fire department hauling water. I got a call a couple Fridays ago, from Mike DeWild, asking if the fire department, with it being so dry as it was, farmers, like needing water in their cisterns and what have you. They have a big tanker, holds 3,000 gallons, just under 3,000 gallons. Asked if the city'd be okay with them hauling water, and if the wet fee that we set, I told them I thought that you guys wouldn't have a problem with it, but we wanted to get something in writing at a meeting, discuss it. At first, I don't know, and I think this has been going on, but you want to call and talk to us about it. I told him that, to me, I want them to charge the 3,000 gallons the same rate that they're charging the people that live in the city, because it's not, because I'm not sure how that was working previously, but I want us to have it in the books that if they hauled anybody, that the people they haul to pay the city the 3,000 gallons that they're taking.
Yeah.
Which is $16 for the first 1,000, $5.95 for each additional 1,000 gallons. So 16, we're just under $28. So
9,000 gallons is what, how much?
28 times 3, I'm getting there. Be about 80 something. I'm there.
I didn't even get my phone.
Yeah, I had to get my calculator out there too. But I have no issue with them doing this, and I think they filled up swimming pools. They get donations for hauling it, fire department benefits, the city gets some goodwill out to the community and everything. So I guess I want a motion that the city allows the fire department to continue this practice and charge the rates the same as they do in the city.
Do we have a meter out there now so we know what's going on?
No, we don't, and what they fill it with is the
Better way to measure.
hydrant. So we need to, I think there is a way to meter the hydrant, but it's,
Antonio's got one.
Right.
What they're doing, my understanding is their tanker holds 2,800. And so they figure 200 for spillage and they're just billing for 3,000 going out. So I'm guessing we're probably coming out a couple of bucks ahead,
but for them, that's the only way they can really do it, and for us to try to meter the hydrant, it's not real cost effective.
Unless we had a meter set up that they can just hook up and they'd be on the honor system, I guess, to just tell us what they're using.
Which that's what they're kind of on the honor system right now in any way, but
A while back, I talked to the water man up in Albia, and he stressed having everything metered, what you charge for it, so we know
usage.
where it's going, hopefully.
I still think we ought to look into some of these other fire departments or towns that the fire department, it doesn't belong to the city anymore. It's a separate entity and see anyway what they do.
to monitor water usage.
But I think,
And when you,
Locke does, I think everything should be, I think you
Well,
want,
you can maybe find a leak sooner, or,
yeah.
that's like,
That water, yeah, you want to watch that water. I found that out.
the fire department has agreed to allow us to meter what goes in the building. They're all for that. Gary's trying to figure out where to hook on to meter what goes in the building. But as far as metering hydrants goes, there's no real cheap way of doing it. I mean, it's
They're just filling it out of a hose, right?
filling it out of a hose from at the hydrant end of the
I
tank.
mean, like a garden hose or a
No,
fire hose?
like a big fire hose, yep. Yeah, he filled the tanker up in about,
3.5 minutes.
yeah, probably,
5 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't take very long. I mean, and then they started spilling out, and Jeff was turning the crank real fast and got it shut off as quick as he could. But yeah, there was a little spillage, so, but I think, I recommend you guys to approve. I'm looking for a motion to approve the fire department. Go ahead, continue this practice at the rate set forth for the townspeople.
I'll give you the motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Smith, seconded by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, this next one, I'm just looking for you guys' approval to, I think, reach out to Ryan Glosser was the name Lathrop gave us when he did the dig back in January at the corner of Main and South Street down there, where we had the big water leak. Just contacting Ryan to come in and then patch the concrete there. It's just kind of a little dump, I know, a little hole, a little dip. We have put rock in there 2 or 3 times. I think it's just probably past time that we fill it in with concrete. So I guess you guys okay with Ryan Glosser doing it? I mean, it's a small little patch job. I think it shouldn't cost a whole lot, what do you think?
I think he's as cheap as anybody.
And a local guy.
And like I said, I've never seen a Lathrop one yet, so.
Yeah, he's a
Those
glosser.
Glossers are out of wood.
So I guess
You want a motion?
I'm looking for a motion to go ahead and reach out to Ryan Glosser to.
I'll make a motion that we entertain Mr. Glosser to repair our street down.
I guess I will take a motion to adjourn. If there's nothing else.
I'll make a
When
motion
you,
to
when you were
adjourn.
talking about the fire department doing the fills for the farmers and filling swimming pools and stuff like that, does the city still offer a swimming pool fill to remove some of the sewer charges off the water bill if we bring up something proven that we have a pool and how many gallons we used?
Doesn't just have to be, I think you could contact the fire department and they could come in.
It's already full.
Oh, the pool is now? Yeah, I'm sorry. No, but
But they used to sit there if you came up and brought your manual saying this is how many gallons your pool takes. You got one time. All your fills through the rest of the summer were your own. That all it would do was just deduct some of the sewer costs.
I would say let's just leave it where it's too bad and it's already full, but from now on, just do it through the, I mean, you could do it every year through
the fire department, I'd almost recommend that and have them come out. I know this year it's kind of a bummer, but I didn't know this was going on until Mike contacted me about it, and then we.
Well, I can't prove that.
It's already done that this year,
Make a
so-
motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I got a motion from Benge to adjourn. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Second by Chisman, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.